Candy.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Penny Candy. I am your host, Damian Nova, and today we're doing something a little different. Since Drag Race season 12, I'm still in season 12. Season 14 has ended recently. Congrats to Willow Pill. I felt like it was my responsibility as a Black queer man to acknowledge the Black Drag Race girls from seasons past. There is toxic shit going on within the fandom of Drag Race, and it affects the black and brown queens more than anything else. These girls are getting death threats. People are like shadow banning them somehow. I don't know, but it seems like they don't get nearly as many followers. And I discovered that through watching Mira Mangle's channel, where they dove into the girls that had the least amount of followers, and most of them are Black and brown queens. So today, I wanted to shine some light and love on my favorite Black Drag Race girls. Now, the rules are I will not be going into UK, Canada, and so forth.
No, not that.
Oh.
I didn't want to bog down this list. So I'm going to stick to the American girls, and I'm going to do a top 20. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a top 21. Side note, I am hyper excited for All-Star 7. This all-winter season is going to be the best season, hands down. There are some heavy hitters on it, and some of my favorites are on it, so I'm ready. I'm ready for that season. Anyway, go check out We Are You Radio's website. We Are You Radio is on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And I got this shirt, this Black Lives Matter, this Black Trans Lives Matter t-shirt from there. Go check them out. They got some great merch for Pride season, and if you plan on going to DragCon, which I do. Let's get to this list. The only other rule I have is that these girls have to identify as Black, African American, or African. So anybody from that spectrum can be included on my list. So let's get to my top 21 Black Drag Race girls of all time. Number 21, Cornbread, season 14. Cornbread was not on the show for very long, but she made quite the fucking impact, right? Like, Cornbread was on, 3 episodes? And then she sprained her ankle and bowed out gracefully. There wasn't any drama filled with it. There was no crying or tears or anything on her part. She bowed out, she understood the situation, and she handled it with grace and class, and that's the kind of queen that I'm here for. Also, bitch was bad. She was gonna wreck shop that season. And I think all the girls were happy. Even though they missed her, I think they were happy that she was gone, because they knew that half of those girls would not have made it, at least one of those girls would not have made it to the top 5. Cornbread is funny, she's fun, she has a lot of heart, and she really showed who she was in a very short amount of time. We saw her handling her family issues on camera, real shit. Also, coming out as trans during the show, I felt like we knew she was trans going in, but I felt like maybe the world at large didn't know, and that's why it was such a big deal. For Cornbread to get Miss Congeniality after only being on 3 episodes is a testament to the power this sister has. Kudos, Cornbread. Number 20, Asia OHara, season 10. So Asia OHara to me was a major front runner on season 10. Her drag was high art, high camp. She was helpful with the other queens, and she's gorgeous. And sometimes because she's so gorgeous, she tries to play it down a little bit. And you can tell that's what it was, kinda. Like, I'm beautiful, but I don't want you to tell me I'm beautiful. I want me to feel I'm beautiful, and that's great. But you know, it's a competition. She was my horse to win, but she shit the bed on the finale, and we can talk about that ad nauseum. I won't even bring it up. it really hurt me to watch her go down like that. And I'm really hoping she comes back. Right now she's doing the Las Vegas show, and I think that's fantastic. As far as looks go, it's hard to pinpoint what looks I really, really liked from her. But I really loved her finale look, that sort of Asian crown, where she sort of looked like the character from Big Trouble in Little China. The Egyptian look that she had, where it was like the final runway on the actual episodes. And I love that look. Her face was beat, that hair was everything. I also think the dandelion look, where it was just the big dandelion hair and just a really simple, clean gown, that was fantastic. Asia OHara is underrated on a lot of levels, and flowers are deserved. Number 19, Coco Montes, Season 5, All Stars 2. Coco Montes was the lip sync assassin of her season. There is no denying that. Coco Montes laid these girls flat. Now, we knew she was a Vegas girl, so it was inevitable that Coco Montes was going to get out there and outperform every single girl. Alyssa, and at least she was poking the bear, and I know Alyssa was trying to say, okay, I'm over it. Can we move past it? Can we talk about it and get over it? And Coco was still feeling hurt by the allegations of what was going on with the pageant, yada, yada, yada. But, and I think that got in Coco's way. Also on All Stars, do I think she deserved to go home first? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. They made her change her act for the talent show. I don't have any facts on what it was actually going to be, but I can't imagine changing your act and then going home first. Feels good, and that can't be cool. Like, the producers, Coco's looks varied. That season was the Wild West of love. Everything looked expensive, but it just, some of it, I think one of my favorite looks is, of course, the iconic orange sleeves jumpsuit, the zebra leopard white look with the coiffed hair. Oh, I love that. I remember when she came out in that, I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, especially on her black skin for All Stars 6. Yes. That dripping diamond dress that turned into a leotard. It was everything. So I love Coco Montes. I think Coco Montes does not get the love that she deserves, and she definitely deserves another chance at All Stars. Number 18, Tatiana, Season 2, All Stars 2. Tatiana's first run on Drag Race in Season 2 was rough. We all knew she was beautiful, and Season 2 had some issues itself, but Tatiana's runways and her challenges, they seemed to push her through. Like, oh, well, she's the young hip girl, so we have to sort of push her through, even though she had like mall clothes on. When she came back for All Stars, though, she said, oh, let me show you what I've been up to. Tatiana came back with a vengeance. Tatiana's confessionals were my favorite of that season, especially when discussing Fifi O'Hara. Her eyes were on everybody. She understood the game. She knew what was getting ready to happen when she got eliminated the first time. The second time, she knew why she was going to get eliminated, because of the whole friendship thing, and I felt like Tatiana really didn't get a chance. She never got her engine going on All Stars. We saw her. We were like, oh wow, we like this. It's good. And when she did her talent show, where she did a poem that ended up going viral, a poem on Drag Race. I don't think we realize how iconic that is. For this girl to get up there and do a poem on Drag Race, stuff that I've heard. I'm a performer too, and I go to open mic nights and I hear poems all the time. That was dope. As far as looks are concerned, I think my favorite looks, of course, was the talent show look, where she had like, it was sort of draped. It was like a, I don't know what those things are called, like cape, I guess. But it was sort of draped, and then when she took it off, it was this beautiful rhinestoned bodysuit, and her body was out of control in it. And she's not super skinny. She is thick, juicy in all the right places. Tatiana's hot. The T-Boz look was impeccable. She came out and we knew exactly what it was. Everybody knew exactly what it was. It was referential, it was fashion. Tatiana is that girl. Number 17, The Widow Von Du, season 12. Widow got a weird edit, right? It felt like they wanted her to be the villain. Like they would show her reacting to things that didn't make sense for her to react to. Most of us, especially black people, were looking at her like, yeah, right, girl. Like, we got it. We saw the bullshit. I don't think Widow Von Du's run was fair. Listen, that whole season is funny, mainly because of what was going on with Sherry. Like, you already knew that they wanted certain people in the top. And Widow was not in those cards, and she was a strong player, and they had to get her out early. Widow Von Du showed her ass the first episode with that rap in front of Nicki Minaj. She ate that season. Her edit was kind of fucked. They really tried to gaslight us to believe that Widow was the problem of that season. And seeing her perform in front of Shaka Khan, who is one of my icons, just watching her do This Is My Night, I was smiling ear to ear. That was a great performance. Widow Von Du could have been the lip sync assassin of that season, but they really didn't give her a chance. And I thought that was nonsense. As far as looks go, I don't remember much of that season, but I do remember her Stars and Stripes look, where she had the afro and the black and white stripes with the stars. That was that's an iconic look. Also the ball where she had like the thing with the balls and the balls of the hair. Oh, it was so good. I really, really enjoyed Widow. She's the kind of bitch that I would try to be friends with. Number 16, Kennedy Davenport, season 7, All Stars 3. Kennedy Davenport is the quintessential professional performer. Kennedy gets up there, she knows what she's gonna do. She does things with intent. When she is given instructions, this is why she did so well on the show. When she's given instructions, she follows directions. She listens, she understands, she comprehends. She is surprisingly funny and has burned down pretty much almost every challenge she's ever been in. I respect Kennedy Davenport so much, and I've seen her perform in Texas, in Atlanta, in Louisiana, and I have to say, Kennedy Davenport is one of the few girls who I throw 20s at. She gets up there and breaks her body so that you are entertained. That is old school, I'm gonna hurt myself and break a limb, and I gotta go into recovery for you to give me a couple of dollars. I can't not respect that kind of dedication to their craft. As far as her Drag Race runs go, she had really, really strong runs both seasons on All Stars 3 and season 7. She almost made Final 4, Final 3 on her season, and because my brain wants to say Final 4 because that's what they're doing now. But she almost made Final 3 on her season, and she made it to the final lip sync on All Stars 3 against Trixie. Oh my god. I'm so focused on the black girls that the white girls are sort of fuzzy right now, so forgive me. I really do adore Kennedy Davenport. I adore her energy. I adore her sincereness. There are no games being played with Kennedy, and that's why she made my list. Number 15, The Vixen, season 10. The Vixen is one of my favorites, and probably one of a lot of black people's favorites, mainly because she did not allow the production or any of the girls to push her into being something she was not. Eureka poked the bear, to insinuate that the Vixen is a bear means that she is always ready to attack. And I don't think that's true of the Vixen. I think a lot of the time, especially at the beginning of the season, Vixen was having a good time. She was really just enjoying all the girls and really just just connecting. Asia, this is another reason why I love Asia OHara, because at the reunion, Asia OHara defended her right to say the things that she said. Everybody let Eureka talk, but nobody was letting the Vixen, nobody was trying to understand the Vixen, and that's one thing that really made me fall in love with Asia. It also made me fall in love with the Vixen. She took no shit. She walked out. Instead of telling me how to act, how to react, tell her how to act. That is something that the Black community has been dealing with forever. Instead of addressing how I am reacting to this, why don't we discuss why I'm reacting? What is happening to make me react this way? RuPaul was kind of right in saying that you don't have to react to everything. That's very true. But when you're young and tired and angry, you cannot not react. You have to get out what you are feeling. And some people are just raw. And the Vixen is a very raw person. I have gone through some back and forths with the Vixen on Twitter before, because I don't agree with everything that she says. I also don't agree with everything that she does. But I will always defend her right to say and do those things. She walked into the room saying that she was going to fight. She said it. I came here to fight. And that wasn't just a proclamation of, I'm here to start drama. She was saying, I'm here to shift the paradigm, because the other Black girls on the seasons before me have been too complacent with the racism, and I am not about to do that. And I felt that energy when she walked into the room. As far as her looks go, the Vixen's looks were very homemade, but they were still high art. They were still high fashion. They were, they were janky sometimes, but for the most part, the Vixen had a solid runway run. Her entry look is fantastic with the horns and it's a great look. It's graphic and it's colorful, and it looked great on her brown skin. Also really loved her paper gown. I think they had to make a paper look. I don't remember that season too much, but as far as the runways go, but I think they had to make paper gowns, and she had like these strips of glitter paper that she had made into this sort of nude see-through gown. It was fantastic. I think the Vixen deserves a lot more respect than she has been given, and a lot more than she's been getting lately. Stop fighting the Vixen, let her live her life, and if you disagree, just keep scrolling. It's really that simple. Number 14, Trinity K. Bonet, Season 6, All-Stars 6. Trinity really grew in her season. I think a lot of it had to do with Bianca Del Rio, while at the same time she had to acknowledge some things within herself. She accepted it and she moved on, and she really had a strong run after that. She wasn't on it much longer after that because Bianca Del Rio dominated that season, but I feel like if Bianca wasn't there, maybe, I could if all day long, but I don't know. However, on All-Stars, when I found out that she was going to be on All-Stars, she was my horse. She was my horse to win. I had been watching Trinity through the pageant scene, and Trinity's performance and looks and drag and just the whole thing, her attitude had shifted so much that it was like, wow, this is a hell of a glow up, and I really respected her glow up. And when she walked into the workroom on All-Stars, she looked fantastic. They were like, oh, this is a subdued Trinity, But then once the show started going, she showed her ass. That episode. Trinity is a high-octane performer. She is a pageant beast. I love Trinity K. Bonet. Hopefully I get to see her at DragCon, because I want to give her a big hug. As far as her looks are concerned, Trinity's looks are kind of hard to pinpoint and say these are the best or not the best. I would say her diamond dress from her season, the bird look from her season where it was like all the feathers and everything, and the Black Lives Matter graphic from the All-Star season, top tier drag. Number 13, Peppermint, Season 9. Peppermint is not only somebody that I used to watch when I lived in New York. I really, really, really loved watching her. She was so, like, it seemed like there was so much love in her heart for her community. And it was important to see her on Drag Race. It was also very important to see her make it as far as she did. The quintessence, like, she's a pro, you know, and I think maybe because her drag was kind of, it was okay the season that she was on. I don't know, maybe if she had lost weight or whatever, because some of it was kind of loose fitting, some of it kind of, you know, so maybe she lost weight while she was on the season. I heard that girls lose weight. Also, I'm not sure if she was able to say that she was trans on the show. I don't remember that specifically. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we knew she was trans, but, well, those of us that knew who Peppermint was, we knew Peppermint is trans. We knew that when she was on the show, but I feel like they never brought it up. I could be wrong, because they're always saying that so-and-so is the first trans and so-and-so is the first trans when Peppermint was on there before those girls. So I don't know. Peppermint's personality was beautiful, but her looks were there's something to be desired about most of Peppermint's looks. There were some I did like a lot. For instance, I loved her finale look with the Peppermint Jurassic Park thing, but she was great in the challenges and she was just solid through the whole season. Peppermint for All Stars. Now, we're doing an all-winter season right now, and that's fine. That's fine. We need a break. We need a break. We have plenty of girls to do All Stars for the next season, and I think Peppermint deserves another chance at this. If Peppermint wins All Stars, that will be everybody from the final four of season 9 being crowned, and I think that's fantastic. I love Peppermint. I think she's great people. Watching her with Bob is, if you see any videos with her and Bob, it's a good time, especially if Peppermint is playing a video game. Poor thing. It's great. Number 12, Akira Chanel Davenport, season 11, All-Star 6. Akira's drag is top tier. Everything looks expensive. Everything is put together impeccably. There is nothing out of place. All the lines are there. There is no, if I was to give any critique on Akira's drag, it's not particularly gritty. So, but I don't need it to be gritty. It's beautiful drag, and it's beautiful, well done drag. I felt like on her season, on season 11, she got a weird edit. Much in the same way as the Vixen got a weird edit, she got a weird edit. It wasn't that they were trying to make her the villain, but they kind of, I don't know. It seems like they didn't give her a lot of screen time, and they would show her runways, but they didn't really let her talk much. I don't know. And then when she got to the finale, we were just like, well, who's Akira? Because you really didn't show us much of her. For her All-Stars season, I felt like we finally got to saw Akira and finally got to see her be 100% herself. The challenges seemed to trip her up. So they seemed to trip her up in the eyes of the judges. While every review I've ever watched, and I feel the same way, sort of were like, I don't know what the judges were talking about. Why is Akira in the bottom this week? You know what I'm saying? Like there were times where it seemed like they were trying to gaslight us into believing that Akira was doing a bad job. It was just one of those edits where it was like, why are you trying to convince us to not like her? Like, why? It just didn't make any sense to me. I love Akira. I think she did way better. And then when they had the final lip sync SmackDown and she didn't show up, I could feel that. I felt that. I was like, yeah, don't fucking show up for this. They tried to really make you seem like you did bad the entire season, and you really didn't. She did what she was supposed to do. She did it, and she bounced. And I can respect a girl like that. Just much like the Vixen, I can respect her for just not showing up. It's everybody's right to not show up for shit. You don't have to show up. And don't make RuPaul make you feel bad for not showing up to something because you are obligated to do it. Like, get the fuck out of here. They knew who they wanted to win that season. There was no reason to do any of that. It all felt very performative. As far as her looks go, listen, the fringe look from season 11 where they had to do that 7-way lip sync or 8-way lip sync or whatever, that look stuck out. That look was gorgeous. Also, the All That Glitters look from her season was beautiful. She wore that wig a few times, but the dress itself was unfuckwithable. That dress made me gasp. And her promo look, the promo video for her All-Star season with the body on the front of her chest, iconic and blackety black. I fucks with Akira C. Davenport. Number 11, Raja OHara, season 11, All-Star 6. Raja OHara was not someone that I expected to like. I was not wild about her on her season. I thought she was kind of angry and not angry in the same way that the Vixen was angry, just kind of angry for the sake of anger and just mad at everybody for nothing. It felt weird. And I don't think that was an edit, because even she says during her All-Stars promo, she's like, nope, I'm in a better place. I like the growth. And I think that's why she's so high on my list. Not only because her drag on season 11 was beautiful, and again, a weird edit. They tried to gaslight us to make us believe that her drag was bad. And it was like, what? Are we seeing the same thing? Yes, she had a bit of a chip on her shoulder, and yes, her challenges weren't that great, but Raja did fine on her season. Again, it was that whole thing of them knowing who they wanted out. As far as her personality goes, she really showed us who she was on All Stars. She really dominated the confessionals. She was funny, she was lighthearted, she was shady sometimes, and she was everything we want from a Drag Race contestant. Raja OHara is a competitor. She knows how to play the game. She may not play it as well as some of the other girls on that particular season, but Raja knows how to play the game. She has all the toolbox in her box to play it. She knows what she's doing. And I missed my metaphors there. Get over it. She had a genuine chill energy, and that's a vibe I fuck with. So when it came to her looks, I disagreed with the judges a lot. For one, I disagreed with the farm to runway look. Raja's look on the farm to runway look was crazy. She made pants out of burlap. What? They let some people slide with some horrible looks, and they seemed to really lay in on Raja, and I didn't appreciate that. Her All-Stars promo is beautiful. I also thought her runway for All-Stars, the final runway, that purple dress with the purple locked yarn hair, stunning. The girl likes purple and she looks good in it. Give Raja her flowers. Number 10, Akasha, season 1. Akasha's high on my list for a number of reasons. One, she's a Cleveland girl. Gotta respect the fact that she's the only Cleveland girl that has been on Drag Race. I used to go see Akasha at Bounce here in Cleveland, and the girl can perform, and she showed you she could perform on her season. Akasha was the first black girl in the workroom. Akasha was the first girl to pull a stunt. She fell on the runway in a dress that she really probably shouldn't have fallen in. But that's what happened. So she fell, spun around, posed, got up, and kept moving. That shit is magical, man. When somebody can fall and make that shit look good, baby, come on. I really respected Akasha for her brazenness. They tried to give her a bit of a villain edit, but at the time, the villain edit didn't really exist on Drag Race. Akasha had a strong showing for Cleveland. Everybody on that season was figuring it out. You know what I mean? I feel like the only girls that knew who they were the final two. And I feel like they saw that. But I feel like all the other girls were still trying to figure out, well, what is this? What is this competition? Chanel brings that up. And I feel like Akasha may have felt the same way. This is my drag. What do you want? What do you want? Why did you hire me? I feel like they got away with murder on that first season, and they made some of those girls feel really small. And it's the lost season for a reason. That filter, woof. She was basically like a blueprint for Drag Race future because of the level of personality and attitude that Akasha had. Most of the girls have that attitude now. I'm sure they were like, okay, if you come in, you gotta have at least a little bit of Akasha energy. As far as her looks are concerned, Akasha wasn't on it very long, so her looks were they were regular dresses, you know, and that was true for a lot of the girls on that season. But I felt like her promo look, that pink dress with the really thick black wig, I felt like that was a really good look. It's also a really cute pose. And then her season 10 finale look, where they brought all the girls back from season 1, she looked great. I felt like the bodysuit was right, and she came back with a vengeance. I think bigger hair would have worked, but I think it's time to put some respect on Akasha's name. Number 9, Mariah Paris Balenciaga. Season 3, All Stars 4. Oh man, you know what? If anybody is more underrated than Mariah Paris Balenciaga, you show them to me. That was a funny time for Drag Race, and going up against people like Manila and Raja. I don't know that she would have won or even made it to the final 3. Maybe she would have. Well, my final 4, if I had to make a final 4, was always Raja, Manila, Yara Sofia, and Mariah Paris Balenciaga. Every time she walked out on that runway, it was stunning. The girl was beautiful, and she knew how to walk. She knew poise. She understood what the judges wanted. She wasn't funny, and that's fine. Not all the girls who win are funny, but I felt like, I don't feel like we were gaslit to think that Mariah's drag was bad, but I feel like that one trip up, I felt like they just were like, oh, nope, gotta get her out. I felt like it was bullshit. We have never, ever gotten enough Mariah. I feel that within my soul. Even on All Stars, for the challenge, she should have won with the talent show, where she gave us a stirring poem performance about racism in America. It was fantastic, and it like, as a black man, like, I was in tears. That was beautiful, and she did it in white. She did it in white. That shit was magical, man. She looked like a dancer from Alvin Ailey. The girl who could shake her head without breaking her neck one. Okay. You know, now as far as the other challenges go, she sort of coasted or whatever, but I don't believe she deserved to go home the time that she did. The whole voting the girls off the island thing on All Stars is gross. I can never have enough Mariah. She's snarky, she's funny, she's funny not in a way like a comedy queen, but she's funny like a drag queen. Like she's drag funny because she's quick, and she'll get you right quick.
A pineapple gown with glitter on it, bitch. Girl, I just can't take this. It's too much. Give me my pocketbook, I'm leaving. A pineapple gown.
I feel like Mariah needs to have far more respect than she gets. I feel like the drag queens love her, and they know her and they respect her, and she's probably one of the most respected drag queens amongst drag girls. But as amongst the fandom is very Mariah who, and I think that sucks. As far as her looks are concerned, pretty much all of them. Listen, Mariah didn't turn a bad look to me. She may have turned a mediocre look, like basically the look that she went out on, the 2-in-1, where she had the thing up and then she just flipped it down. It was a dress, and it was kind of fitting, kind of funny. But outside of that, every single time Mariah turned that corner, it was like I loved looking at her. Just beautiful. Number 8, Jada Essence Hall, season 12, All Stars 7. There is a lot of shit going around about Jada not deserving to win her season. And if you look at Jada's track record through the entire season, Jada dominated from the runways to the challenges. She was real quiet in the beginning. She let it float. She was like, I don't need to win this one. I'm gonna float on this one, float on this one, float float on this one. And then when she decided to show up, Jada Essence Hall said, okay, it's time to play. Those runways were stupid. They were stupid. From the ball look where she had the white balls where it looked like she had just gotten out the bathtub. What? How was she safe? How was she? There was a lot of shit going on that season. They were really trying to convince us that Gigi Goode was interesting. And as much as I like Gigi Goode, she wasn't Widow Von Du or Jada Essence Hall. Do I think Gigi Goode did great? Yes, I think Gigi Goode did fine. But Jada Essence Hall, I think we knew she was going to win when she did the makeover. That makeover challenge, I hate the makeover challenge. I hate it. The girl is classy, poised. Well, I wouldn't say classy. She's funny. She is wildly funny. And I didn't think she was as funny as she was until they did the debate thing. It's like, wow, she is funny. Goofy funny. Like goofy funny in a way that if she's got you, then she's gonna keep doing those things to make you laugh even more. And I dig a fucking person like that.
Opening of our new bar, nightclub.
Are we talking nightclub?
Nightclub.
I thought we was talking Asia.
Asia, we did not agree to that. You said
But
that.
we talked about it.
But I
And you
also
didn't
put
say
in
no.
some money in this bar. Albeit 30%, but I put something in there.
She's definitely one of the most beautiful winners from Drag Race. And what you're not gonna do is diminish Jada Essence Hall's win just because you didn't like the fact that she won sitting in her living room out lip syncing all them other girls who tried all the tricks. As far as her looks are concerned, it's hard to pinpoint. I can sit here and say all of them, but I didn't like all of them. I loved her Stars and Stripes look. I thought that was really well made. I also loved the purple look with that hat. That was it. That was it. That girl came out and killed us in that. Also, her entrance look on All Stars 7, like the show hasn't started yet. And they've already started showing stuff, but her entrance look is beautiful. That encrusted biker jacket with the tights and the belts. Oh! And the Galaxy look from the finale, where it was just, it looked like she looked like a Marvel, like one of those Marvel abstract. If you know Marvel at all and you know the sort of B side of Marvel comics, she looked like one of those abstract entities from space that just has planets floating around her, like Eternity or something. Like, she looked great. And of course, the balls look, the balls ball. It was stupid. Number 7, Latrice Royale, Season 4, All Stars 1, and All Stars 4. Latrice Royale is beloved. She is Mother Latrice. You don't talk shit about Latrice unless she lets you talk shit about her. She is definitely one of the most, if not the most respected Drag Race contestant of all time. Nobody fucks with Latrice. Latrice's run on her season was strong. It was actually quite damaging to the fandom to find out that she was not going to be in the finale or be in the top 3, especially with Fifi being there. Latrice had strong runs on pretty much all the seasons she's ever been on. Even All Stars 4, she had a solid run and then came back and stayed for a little while longer. You know, Latrice is that girl. She is a competitor. She is definitely one of the strongest competitors that the show has ever seen. And when you see Latrice walk into the room, you're shaking in your boots. She's the girl you gotta knock out early. After Drag Race, she really has shown that she is more than just a strong competitor. Latrice has done one-woman shows. She released a jazz record. Fuck. Like I fucks with Latrice Royale. Her journey from being in jail to being one of the most exalted drag queens of all time is quite a feat. As far as her looks, the latex looks from All Stars 4 with the balls and the eyes on the titties, ma'am. Also the beehive look when they had to do the clubs that they had when they had to create the clubs. That beehive look was crazy with the bee hair and the fuzzy shoulders. it was simple, but it was clean, and it really, really worked on a lot of levels. I really, really love Latrice Royale. Don't agree with every move that she's made, but it's not for me to agree. It's none of my business. Whatever. I love her, and I think we should keep exalting her and keep lifting her up. Number 6, Hart, Season 10, All-Stars 4, UK versus the world. What can I say about this girl? She almost made my top 5 if it wasn't for some other ones. Hart is, I love everything about this bitch. Like, I love her drag, I love her personality, I love her energy. I love the fact that she's so sincere, she's so honest, she's so forthright about a lot of shit, and she will check you for being incorrect. I can really, really, really mess with them, and I'm gonna stop saying girl, because as of right now, Hart is identifying as non-binary, so it's gonna be them, they.
It's me! Again, bitch. Hello, you damn right.
We saw their journey from being sort of a hodgepodge, make it on your own, fly by the seat of your pants, you know, and make it pretty far in the season with that energy, with that mentality, only to go to All-Stars and make the Final 4. She's funny, she's interesting, she's like, her confessionals are everything. You can't get more quotable than Hart. Once I found out that they were on UK versus the world, I was worried. I was worried, mainly because of her run on All-Stars. I feel like All-Stars kind of made her feel defeated. I think she brings that up on UK versus the world. But their fans are really strong, and they have really grown so much, and the confidence that they have now is just really, really phenomenal, and it was quite a thing to watch. But they were the voice of honesty. There was a moment with Mo and Janie Jacquet. Well, there were a couple moments with Mo and Janie Jacquet where Mo was asked a question, Hart answered it honestly.
When I saw you with the puffs things, I said, why are we at Drag Brunch?
Drag brunch? Oh my God. Monique.
Not even Drag Brunch, like my first time in drag.
It wasn't even dramatic. It was just, listen, it was bad. So funny, but there was no intent for it to be funny. Like, I think that's what makes Hart funny, is because it's so forthright, it's so just honest and blunt, and I fucks with that energy. They have a show where they are going through the closets of celebrities now, and it's great and it's entertaining. If you can just support Hart, like, right now, go watch this show. Please do not let this stuff flop. Their music is fine.
Let me introduce ya to the king of glory, the everlasting fire.
Mo can sing. That's all. As far as the looks are concerned, I'm not even going to pinpoint anything from All-Stars 4 or Season 10. We're going to talk about every single look from UK versus the world. Hart slashed that runway. That runway was bleeding by the time Mo was done with that show. That runway was bleeding, it was on fire. And I think that they just got on there just to show, oh, look, I can get to the top, I can beat you. I could win this, but I don't want to because ain't no money. The thing that RuPaul is offering ain't enough. You want to give me a trip home to go do what? Record? To go record a verse on a song that was already recorded? They came in and said, this is what I'm gonna do. Goodbye. That fucking cameo look? Throw up. I'm gonna throw up. Number 5, Simone, Season 13. Now we're getting into my top 5. We're getting into my top 5. Simone would be a lot higher. I don't know. I think this is high. I think this is a really high spot for Simone, considering she just won season 13. Like, she just crowned the new girl. I don't know a lot of what Simone is doing other than her model work and everything. She's being a drag queen. She's going around, and she really had a really great reign. Simone had a really, really, really fun reign, and just watching her do the things that she was going to do after she won, I think she really showed her ass. I didn't know what the girls on season 14 were going to do after season 13, because I'm here to tell you, Simone and Gottmik, they got on that finale and pretty much set the bar so high that it is unattainable. You will have to sprout wings at this point. There's no way you're gonna match the fashion or the energy behind the fashion, the intent behind the fashion, the stories they were telling with their fashion. And Simone really, I mean, Gottmik and Simone were neck neck, and it was very much that, and that's why that final lip sync was Simone and Gottmik, because there's nobody else it could have been. There were some strong drag queens on that season. But once Simone came out in a do-rag train, listen, it was over for you hoes. That is peak blackness, okay? We could all say, oh, we thought Gottmik was gonna, we could lie, and if Simone shit the bed on the finale, it would have been Gottmik's. She came out with the weight of our ancestors. That was the blackest one. If you watch a video of just Simone's looks from the beginning to the end, that is a exercise in pure blackness. It's a black hair show. It is Bonners, it is Floyd Roberts, it is Iman, it is all those things. It was the blackest run of any black drag queen. She was hilariously funny.
As of midnight tonight, I'll be tearing down the flag factory, and I'll be putting up a wall factory where a wall factory ought to be.
Exercising my blackness by invoking my ancestors. That is why she's at number 5. As far as her looks go, like I said, all of them please. Every single one. She did not have one bad look. Not one. I don't care what Violet Chachki said. She did not have, and I love Violet, but I disagree. The white girls do not understand Simone's aesthetic, which is why they tried to come for her season 14 look, which is a Little Kim look. We get it. You don't get this reference. It's not for you. Number 4, Shea Coulee, season 9, All-Stars 5, and All-Stars 7. Shea Coulee is the definition of a winner. She is competitive. She is a strong energy in the workroom. Also, she's kind. Very much like Bianca Del Rio in the workroom. I'm not worried about you hoes. Simone had some moments where she second-guessed herself. She almost had a Alaska type tantrum in there. Shea Coulee never lost her cool. Shay was always poised, professional. Didn't matter if she shit the bed or not. She's like, okay. Shea Coulee went in with a cool head and said, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I know what I have in my bag. And every time Shea Coulee shows up to a competition like this, I can smell it on her. When she walks into the room, it's not even just confidence. It's just, I know you hoes can't fuck with me. Shea Coulee is drag. That is high drag. Yes, there's a lot of fashion involved, but Shea Coulee's fashion is also high levels of drag, expensive drag. Auntie, it's rich auntie energy, just stinking of just money. And that is something that I love in my winner. Even if you don't have the drag, stink of it. Make it look like it's just the most expensive thing you've ever put on. Also, Shea Coulee is a solid performer, and she wrecks those challenges. Wrecks every challenge. From makeover challenge to trying to create an outfit, all that shit. Shea Coulee has it down. She is the definition of a winner. As far as her looks go, again, much like Simone, pretty much all of them. I don't have anything specifically that I could pinpoint other than her final runway on All Stars 5. Also, the promo picture for All Stars 7. Listen, I am weak. I was weak when I saw her come out. Her and Raja, they look like money. You don't have to, your shit doesn't even have to be expensive to look expensive. And I think the way Shay carries herself with the pride of her ancestors, that she is not gonna make you know, you're not gonna know how much this costs. What you are gonna feel is that this is the most expensive thing that has ever been worn ever, and I fucks with that. Give Shea Coulee her flowers, please. Number 3, Bob the Drag Queen, Season 8. Much like Shea Coulee, Bob is the definition of a winner. However, the difference is Bob walks into a situation with the confidence of a mountain to the point where it almost makes the rest of the room uncomfortable. There was no denying that once we start seeing Bob in those challenges, that it was over for them hoes. It wasn't even about like her runways, because her runways were janky. But when we saw her in those challenges and she would win, and then have one the jankiest runways, it was like, oh, she's that girl. Because sometimes the runways will make you lose a challenge no matter how good you are at it, or it will make you safe at a challenge no matter how good you were at it. Bob was untouchable. The way Bob bulldozed that season, I can't hate it, you know? I cannot hate it. Also, not just talking about her season work, but after the season, Bob has really shown that she's more than just a comedy queen. Bob has something to say. I don't agree with everything Bob says, and I'm not a fan of that show with her and Monet, but I love We're Here, and some of the other things that she has put her foot in, I can really fucking get behind. A drag legend. Somebody who is looked at in the future after they're dead and gone, and looked at and say, these are your ancestors. These are the peoples whose backs this was built on. And I feel like Bob is that girl, much like Peppermint, much like Kennedy. I feel like Bob puts in the work. It's not just looks, it's not just confidence, it is work. There are times he's been an apologist, but at the same time, I can respect a bitch who stands with it, you know what I'm saying, unapologetically. Yes, that is how I feel, oh well, you know, and then we move on. I don't know, I love Bob the Drag Queen, and that's really nothing else to be said about it. As far as her looks go, I guess I would say her finale look, the African finale look with the nose thing, and that looked really, really good. It's very beautiful on her, as well as her crowning look. That was a gorgeous dress. Outside of that, everything else has been on social media or the pit stop or something like that. So yeah, I love the houndstooth stuff on the pit stop. She was consistent. She did houndstooth for like a whole season. And it looked great. Number 2, Bibi Zahara Benet, Season 1, All Stars 3. There is an air of sophistication that Bibi exudes. I'm not gonna say she has it because I don't know her, but there's an air of sophistication that she exudes that is almost otherworldly. People look at her like she's crazy when she talks, but I understand everything. Maybe I'm crazy. I understood on her All-Star season why she didn't show it. That's how you play the game. Not everybody has to show their lipstick. I don't have to show my lipstick. I'm not showing you my lipstick because if you see who I picked, because they're sitting right here in the room, well, we might have a problem here today. And it's not about me. And I really like that. People can talk about, oh, well, she's full of shit. No, you're full of shit. Let her be what she gonna be and get over it. You don't have to see what lipstick she had. Fuck out of here. Bibi doesn't owe you shit. She did it with Aja. She said, look, and a lot of people agree with Bibi at this point, where Aja was upset that Bibi did not acknowledge her contribution to her garment on the runway. That happens all the time. You know, that happens all the time. The girls help each other all the time. You don't have to acknowledge that this person helped with this or this person helped with that. They help each other all the fucking time. And that's basically what Bibi was saying. Did she say it kind of smart ass? Sure. People look up to Bibi Zahara Benet. She is the first winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. And I'm so sick of people trying to diminish that season as if Bibi Zahara Benet did not turn the party. It really could have gone either way. It really could have been Bibi or Nina. RuPaul chose to pick a black girl to be the first face of RuPaul's Drag Race, and she did not pick incorrectly. Musician, y'all, not lip syncing to somebody else's tracks. Writing her own shit, booking a band, booking background vocalists, and booking a venue. That's hard work. That is a lot. Listen, I do this. I'm a musician, I do this. Watching Bibi put on full fucking drag and get in rehearsal? What? I don't want to rehearse in clothes, and she is rehearsing in full drag. Are you serious? And it could be just for show. It could just be, okay, so for today we are just going to, I'm going to dress in drag and we are going to perform it. Whatever. It could be that. Whatever. If that's what it is, it's fine. Whatever. Listen, I'm okay with feeling the fantasy. But at the same time, when I look at somebody who is creating not just drag music, but actual music and actually booking bands and working with musicians and writers and everything and actually creating for their craft, I cannot put them lower on the list. I cannot. I don't care what anybody says. Bibi Zahara Benet is iconic. One of the most interesting, beautiful, and transcendent drag queens from Drag Race. When they saw her come into the room on All Stars, those bitches were shaking. She has embraced her culture because she exudes her Cameroon culture, because she pushes Africa down our throat, because you know another African drag queen that's out here doing it like her? I don't know one. I don't know any of them. I'm gonna take these African vibes. I'm gonna take them because guess what? We ain't gonna find them, not for a while at least. There might be some African girls looking up to her now, because I'm here to tell you what's going on in Africa ain't what's going on over here. So the African girls over there struggling to be who they are in a climate where they are being hunted and murdered are looking at Bibi saying, I can do that. She is a representative of a culture that does not accept what Bibi Zahara Benet is doing. I love her for that, and I'm almost choked up. Fucking love her. Before I get to my number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions. And in the number one spot, Shangela Laquifa Wadley, Season 2, Season 3, All Stars 3. Shangela is Drag Race. Just like Trixie Mattel said, Shangela is a professional TV professional. Not because she is a drama starter, but because Shangela learned how to play the game through the girls. Like, the first time she played, she said, oh, okay. The second time she played, she said, got it. And played it well. She played that third season so well that it got under all those girls' skin, and she made it further than she ever should have. Never should have made it past Mariah Paris Balenciaga, which is just, what? especially looking at her runway and her runways back then. They were just so crunchy. But she knew how to play the game. She got in Raj's head. She got in Manila's head. She got in everybody's head. Got on everybody's nerves. To the point where when she was eliminated, everybody was like, yay! Shangela could play you like a fucking fiddle. And that is a professional TV professional. Let's just talk about Shangela's first, okay? Shangela was the first person to write on the mirror. Shangela was the first person to do a shablam on the runway. She was the first person to get eliminated the first on a season and then come back and run the next season. She's the only person that's really been able to do that, to come back and really run the whole season for the most part. Shangela evolved into that. And then when she was on All Stars, I don't think a lot of those girls took her seriously until she started winning challenges. And then it was like, oh, okay. Ben de la Creme was gonna win that season. I don't know if she sacrificed herself for Shangela because she wanted Shangela to win and she didn't want to win in the way she was winning. Also, she didn't like voting people off. I don't know. I know there are a lot of theories, but after Ben de la Creme left, did Shangela deserve to win her season? Yes. Yes. It is undeniably true. Trixie Mattel can ignore it all she wants. She knows that's true. Doesn't matter at this point, because while Trixie Mattel is doing just fine, so is Shangela. Shangela is on We Are Here, and she is doing real shit. She was in A Star Is Born with Lady Gaga. She's been on stages. She performed for Beyonce. I mean, she is a pioneer of Drag Race. They use a lot of the shit she created, and they don't give her nearly enough credit, if any. They don't give her any of the credit for the stuff that she started on this very, very huge franchise. I'm not going to fight RuPaul about it. I'm not going to go back and forth about it. I don't think Shangela cares nearly as much as I do. But listen, what we not going to do is disrespect this woman's name. So that's it for this week's list. Share your list below. This is my list. This is my opinion. I feel very passionately about we need to stop hating and stop. I mean, you can hate all you want, but stop sending death threats to these girls. Support, follow them on their Instagram accounts, get their numbers up. We need to give these girls the power that they deserve, so that they can help some other people get off the ground, that they have their own houses. They're trying to do these other things. So go follow them, go support them, support their businesses. And I will see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Candy.